Hello all and welcome to your boy Man's WrestleMania Review Series. We are on number 24, WrestleMania 24. The tagline is the biggest WrestleMania under the sun. This show is known for being Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair's final WWE match, his retirement match in WWE. I say WWE because we all know he goes to TNA and has a couple of matches in that company. I know some of you don't like to talk about that, but that is what happened. Regardless, besides this being Ric Flair's final WWE match and his final WrestleMania performance, a lot of good stuff happened on this show. This is a damn good show. A really good WrestleMania. Overall fun, productive, and effective. Even now, watching it again, I left feeling like, yeah, I'm happy I spent the 4 hours watching that. So yes, WrestleMania 24 is definitely one of the better WrestleManias. This show has my favorite setup for any WrestleMania. I dare say it's the best one. I love the building stage and I love all the stuff they put around the ring, the tower, the look of the arena, the no roof. It just looks amazing. And one of the reasons I'm looking forward to WrestleMania 33 is that we're going back to that same arena. And hopefully the setup looks, if not as good, even better. So yes, WrestleMania 24 has, in my opinion, the best WrestleMania setup. You might disagree, and that's fine. Feel free. But that's just my opinion. The show is 4 hours. The date, March 30th, 2008. Arena, as I said before, Orlando, Florida, Citrus Bowl. The Florida Citrus Bowl. Attendance was 74,635. Commentary, we had a couple of commentators on here. We got Jim Ross, Jerry King Lawler, Joey Styles, Tazz, Michael Cole, and Jonathan Coachman. I forgot he did commentary around this time. Matter of fact, I think SmackDown has a couple of new commentators coming in, at least for 2008. I know Coachman eventually leaves. He leaves. And then Mick Foley comes in. And then he leaves. And then Tad comes in. And then he leaves. It's just, they come in, they leave. And I think around this time, that commentary desk was becoming really hard to work. And most of that has to do with the man behind the curtain. I hear Vince McMahon was extremely hard to work with around this time. He was getting up there. It tends to happen. Ring announcers were Howard Finkel and Lillian Garcia. Lillian got a lot of screen time on this show. She was basically doing most of the announcing for this matches, for this show. Not just for the match coming up first, but for the matches. Interviewers were, check this out, Kim Kardashian, Mike Adamle, let's not talk about Mr. Mike Adamle, Jeff Harvey. Look, I botch my words a lot. Trust me, a lot. But even I'm not bad enough to say Jeff Harvey. Just saying. Josh Mathews, Todd Grisham. I think Eve Torres is doing some announcing too, but I don't think she's on this show. I don't remember her being on the show. Regardless, we open up the show with John Legend performing America the Beautiful. Great performance overall. First match, the Belfast Brawl between JBL, John Bradshaw, Layfield, and Finley. My name is Finley, and I love to fight. First off, they did this feud on Raw, of course. JBL moved from SmackDown to Raw, and I gotta say, the match was solid. The story involving Hornswoggle and Finley. So basically what happened was, JBL revealed that Hornswoggle was never the son of Vince McMahon, and that he's the son of Finley. And Vince and JBL abused him. Let me just stop for 2 seconds to tell all of you, I don't like Hornswoggle. I never liked Hornswoggle. Even when he was the little bastard, I was annoyed. I know some of you liked him as a little bastard, but for me, I never liked him. And I'm the kind of person that doesn't find midgets in wrestling funny. I don't like midget wrestlers. I just think, unless they're doing something that I don't mind, fine, but you will never see me wear a shirt for a midget wrestler. I don't find them funny. Regardless of any of that, the match was fine. You have two veterans who beat the hell out of each other with fists and weapons. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm safe in saying this match was a good opener. Yeah, that's it. An extremely physical match with weapons, and JBL wins. That's it. We get some highlights from the Hall of Fame, and we saw The Rock, the People's Champion, make a special appearance to induct his father, Soul Man, Rocky Johnson, and his grandfather, the great High Chief Peter Maivia. So, that was nice to know. And, the Hall of Fame this year was pretty solid. Not a bad class. It was mostly known for the inductions that The Rock did, and of course Ric Flair. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair. So let's move on to the Money in the Bank ladder match. The fourth one out of all the Money in the Bank matches. John Morrison, Carlito, Shelton Benjamin, CM Punk, Mr. Kennedy, MVP, and the returning Chris Jericho. This is Chris Jericho's first WrestleMania since he left in 2005. Yeah, he's been gone for 3 years, and now he's back. This match was great. It wasn't as good as the previous. I don't think it's as good as the previous Money in the Bank matches. I just feel like it was great. It just lacked a lot of drama and high spots that the first three had. But listen, it's still worth the watch. Morrison and Shelton Benjamin, of course, Shelton Benjamin always shines in these matches, but those two pulled off some really hard bumps, really difficult spots. Morrison did like this awesome moonsault with the ladder to the outside. It was spectacular. The way I described it wasn't even, well, it was good enough to describe it, I guess, but it wasn't like picture perfectly on point. So go watch that match and see what I'm talking about. And then Shelton Benjamin falling off the ladder to the outside and crashing and burning through another ladder. You couldn't pay me enough to take that bump. You would have to pay me, well, I guess for $1 million I would take it, but it would have to be at least close to $1 million. But it looked like it hurt. And it did. It hurt a lot. But it was outstanding. I even like seeing Matt Hardy interfere and cost MVP the briefcase, which is some very nice continuity writing from their feud. 2007 feud. And I think Matt Hardy was put out on injury. Yeah, he was put out on injury because of MVP. And so he came back and screwed him over. Cool with me. Now, CM Punk wins, which was a very nice surprise. Especially considering I was, and still am, a huge CM Punk fan. He would go on to cash in that briefcase against Edge later on that year, which was a great moment. Great moment. The title reign? Not so great. But that cash in, great. Wonderful. Not wonderful, but wonderful. Next is the, one of those bad matches of the show. We have Batista versus Umaga. It didn't work. It just wasn't good. It was boring. This is one of those matches you look at and go, I like them. I like the people in the match. I like Batista and Umaga. But they just don't have good chemistry. They just don't work well with each other. It's just two elements that don't mix. And they didn't mix. I did like that Batista bomb on Umaga. That was impressive. It didn't make up for a boring match. I believe Batista would soon move. He moves to the Raw brand after this. And then I think he has a match against John Cena at SummerSlam. And then he wins that match. Then goes on to beat Chris Jericho for the World Championship. So he has a pretty good 2008. He does hurt himself. Again. I don't know when exactly that happens, but he does injure himself following that, though. It is what it is. ECW Championship. Chavo Guerrero, who's the champion, took on Kane, and Kane beats him in 8 seconds. Kane is now your new ECW champion. Let's be honest. Kane was not very good around this time. He was not being booked very well. He was very directionless. And I'm shocked he stuck around. You would have thought by this point Kane would have been done. But he stuck around. They kept him around to put over the young talent. And that's what he wanted to do. Glenn Jacobs was, in my opinion, one of the most selfless, and still is one of the most selfless workers in the entire industry. He will put anybody over. No matter if they're worth it or not, he will put anybody over. And for that, I think he's awesome. Alright, the match of the night. You know this had to have been the match of the night. It's the career-threatening match. Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair versus HBK Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. If Ric Flair lost, he had to retire. Without a doubt, this is the best match on the show and a definite WrestleMania classic. Considering Ric Flair was 59 years old. 59 years old. He needs so much love. He needs so much respect. And I mean, he got it, but he needs more. For being able to wrestle such a great match with Shawn Michaels. And he's 59 years old. I cannot believe this man was able to have this great of a match with Shawn Michaels. Some of you are saying Shawn Michaels carried him. You know what? I disagree. It was a two-man street, two-tangle. It was one of those things where both men delivered, and oh my God, this was so good. I've seen this match like 10,000 times. It never gets boring. It's so awesome. How many people do you know who are 59 years old and can wrestle the quality that Ric Flair wrestled tonight? Well, on this show. You can't. You can't. The match told a great story, amazing story with Shawn Michaels being hesitant. He didn't want to hurt Ric Flair. He didn't want to injure Ric Flair. He didn't want to end his career. And he knew if he was to try and actually give his all and be Mr. WrestleMania, he would end his career. But throughout the match, you had these moments where Shawn Michaels hesitated with super kicks, and then he hesitated with like a moonsault to the outside, and it cost him. My favorite spot was seeing Shawn Michaels go for the moonsault. He waited too long, and then he completely missed Ric Flair and went crashing and burning through that announcer table. It looked like he broke something. And I think he did injure himself. I'm not too sure, but I'm positive he might have broken a rib. That looked like it hurt. But to me, and this is how I feel, that ending with Shawn Michaels, where you see Ric Flair groggy, he's about to go down, he's about to fall, you know it's over. You already know it's done. Ric Flair's going, come on, Shawn, come on. You see Shawn sad, great acting by the way. He's sad, he's just, I don't want to do it. And then he just swallows his pride and says, I'm sorry, I love you. Super kick, sweet chin music, Flair goes down, and it's it. That's it. Shawn Michaels wins. He ends the career of Ric Flair. We see Shawn Michaels hug Ric Flair, kiss him on his forehead, and then Ric Flair stands up to get a standing ovation. An amazing ending. An amazing ending to such an amazing career. Why the hell would you wrestle after this? For real. Why would you wrestle after this, Ric Flair? I don't understand. After having such an amazing classic with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24, you know goddamn well no match after this is going to top it. Nothing you did following this match was going to come anywhere close to this. So why would you wrestle again? I get it. You love wrestling so much, it's hard to let it go. Once you get that bite, it's hard to stay away. And you know what? When I talk about Shawn Michaels later on, I'm pretty sure he's facing the exact same temptations. But Shawn Michaels is sticking to his retirement. I wish Ric Flair did. You know, and this is a match for the ages. We got everything we could want in this match. We even got some classic moments from HBK and Ric Flair. Ric Flair did all of it. He did all of his spots. The flop, the chops, turnbuckle being tossed off, the figure four, all of it. This was a classic Ric Flair match, and definitely a WrestleMania classic for WWE. Alright, let's finish this up. We have a Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjill match. All the Divas, they're not women's wrestlers at this point. They're Divas, but they're on the outside. We see Beth Phoenix, the champion, and Melina with Santino Marella versus Maria and Ashley. Well, Look, the match sucked. I can't get mad at the women, though. Like last year, they weren't given a lot of time, and a lot of what happened was... it was just not good. I don't know what to say. It was just not a good match. Beth tried. Future Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix tried to carry it, but she couldn't. Ashley and Maria were not professional wrestlers. They were good bodies, but not professional wrestlers. Plus, the crowd didn't care, and neither did the lights. The lights went out in the middle of this match. Afterwards, after Beth Phoenix and Maria, Melina, see, I can't even get the people right. It's Melina and Beth Phoenix. After they win, Snoop Dogg clotheslined Santino Marella, which was cool, but it didn't save the match. Seriously. We have a WWE Championship triple threat. Randy Orton versus John Cena versus Triple H. Good match. That's it. Good match. I'm happy Randy Orton retained. I felt like during this time, he was at the peak of his career. Love the Viper gimmick. I love this new vicious side of Randy Orton we were getting. I love that he was tapping into that dark part of his, the dark part of his character, and just really having some really good moments. And we get more of it going into next year. But Randy Orton at this time was on fire as a champion, and I'm so happy he kept that belt. He doesn't keep it for long, though, because he eventually loses it to Triple H, and then I think it goes to SmackDown. Yeah, it eventually does go back to SmackDown. Yes, it does. And then the World Heavyweight Championship comes back to Raw. So, yeah, there you go. I think they do this thing where they swap championships back and forth between Raw and SmackDown. I don't know why they do that. It's dumb. It got really ridiculous around this time. It's kind of like, look, just go back to one belt. Just go back to one belt. But whatever. That's a discussion for a future WrestleMania. Celebrity match. Not celebrity death match. If you watch that show, we can be friends. But this is a celebrity match. No DQ. Big Show versus Floyd Money Mayweather. In terms of a celebrity match, this is my favorite for WrestleMania. Big Show delivered big time here, carrying Floyd to a very solid match, despite Floyd being a horrible, and I mean horrible babyface. He was way too cocky, way too full of himself, and it wasn't what a traditional babyface was made of. And you know what? It's not even that it was a traditional babyface, because Eddie Guerrero and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and even The Rock, they aren't your prototypical white bread babyfaces either. And they're one of the hottest, they are the hottest babyfaces around. I don't know. Floyd just didn't work out. There was something about him that just screams, I don't like you. I don't know why, but I just don't like you. Regardless, the match was fine. It was an easy story to tell. Big Show's a bully, and Floyd is the little man standing up to the bully. Well-told story. It ended well. That's all that matters. The final match is WrestleMania Streak number 16. WrestleMania match number 16 for The Undertaker. And here's the thing. It was a World Heavyweight Championship match, Edge versus Undertaker. I love the story. I love that we have two undefeated men to work at a WrestleMania, because Edge has never lost a match at WrestleMania up to this point. So it was undefeated streak versus undefeated streak. I love that. I love Edge as champion. Like I said, at least from 2006 to 2008, Edge was arguably the best performer in that company. Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. He was the hottest performer, I dare say, yeah, out of anybody. I mean, Shawn Michaels was great, Ric Flair was great, all of them were great, but Edge was on fire around this time. So, arguably, the best performer in that company. And yes, he should have closed the show. I'm happy this is the match they closed the show with. With that said, I remember liking this match a lot more than I did just watching it. It doesn't quite hold up over time. I don't know. It didn't grab me like it did back then in 2008. I don't know what the deal is. I felt like maybe I should have liked it a lot more than I did. It was a great match. They did a lot of great things. I love seeing Edge use his mind and outsmarting Taker and then countering all his moves. We also got the appearance of the Edgeheads, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Back then when Zack Ryder had long hair. But, I don't know. It's a great match. I just didn't feel like it grabbed me enough. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why I don't like this match as much. Maybe watching 2 WrestleManias back-to-back hurt it, or I don't know. What is it? Do you guys feel the same way? Go back and watch this match and tell me how you feel. Is it just the match wasn't all that great? Or, I don't know. I will say this, though. The SummerSlam match, the Hell in a Cell match these two have later on this year, oh, that's a fantastic match. That is so much better than this. I might even call that a classic. I have to watch it. If I ever do a SummerSlam series, I'm telling you, if I ever do a SummerSlam series, I will, just to see how much that match stands up. But, regardless, great match. Taker wins, of course, because this is undefeated WrestleMania streak. But he is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He loses it back to Edge eventually, and then Edge loses it to CM Punk. So, yeah. How about that? Alright, that's WrestleMania 24. Again, damn good show. Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels stole the show, because the showstopper stole the show with the Nature Boy, as you would expect. Next up, WrestleMania 25. Now that one holds a special place in my heart because I was there live. So watching it again is going to be very, very, very interesting. But thank you guys for watching me. I'll see you next time for WrestleMania reviews. And this is your boy, The X-Man, signing off in The X-Man's world. Peace out.